guys, I'm Craig, and today for the Snowboard Guide, we're going to check out the new Capita Black Snowboard of Death in red. Today we are going to check out the new Capita 2026 Black Snowboard of Death. I have been wanting to check out a Black Snowboard of Death for a long time now. So I've been a snowboard fan for a long time, and if anyone knows the history of this board, it is the unofficial Kevin Jones Pro model. I won't go into too much depth about that story. I don't want to mince my words and get it wrong, but this one even says the Kevin Jones Black Snowboard of Death. If you're interested to learn more, I suggest you listen to the Bomb Hole. I think it's the Blue Montgomery issue where they actually talk about this board and signing Kevin Jones and then not signing him and having a whole bunch of pro models of his. And it's kind of always remained unofficially the Kevin Jones Pro model. But anyway, it's taken on the name of the Black Snowboard of Death, and it has been a solid part of the Capita lineup for 25 years. So this is the 25th edition of the board. And it's taken me 25 years to check it out, but I'm stoked I did. So looking over the Black Snowboard of Death, it is a directional all-mountain board, and it's got some really interesting stuff going on. To start with, it comes in a whole variety of sizes. It is a big man's board. There are no small sizes. It starts at a 156. What it also has, which is really cool, it's set back, I think 0.8 of an inch. But what is really cool is what's going on with the camber and everything else. So I believe, and I don't want to get this wrong, between the bindings, positive camber flattens out the back before the tail, but then you got the positive camber that comes through the front, and it actually has reverse camber. So a little bit of lift before the natural nose lift. What that does, it keeps it really stable on hard pack stuff, but also gives you a little bit of extra float and control on pow. This really is designed as a high performance board to get you across the whole mountain. So I have been riding the Black Snowboard of Death in the 159. Like I said, it's a big man's board, or ladies. Starts at a 156, goes through to 169 wide, but I grabbed the 159. It was the one that was made available to me. And I would have grabbed the 56 or 59. If I'm gonna get a true all mountain board that kind of is gonna sit outside the park and away from my really basic jibs, 159 is probably what I'm going to go for, so I was stoked to check it out. Looking over it a little bit, under the feet, or across the waist I should say, 25.9 centimeters waist width, so it's on the kind of wider side for what I normally ride. I use a medium union force binding and a size 10 boot, no heel or toe drag, and on the other side of it, because it is wider, it didn't actually feel wide. So I did ride some wider boards this year, and I could find the challenges of laying them over, but I also could feel the benefits of that width. This only had the benefits of the width, where I could get a bit lower, didn't feel like heels or toes were going to catch, and I could really lay into calves and that. So the 25.9 underfoot felt really, really good. Slightly tapered shape, nose width is 30 centimeters, and tail is 29.9. So very similar, but just a little bit of a taper through to the tail. So going to create a little bit more float, and like I said, it's an all mountain board for all mountain aggressive riding, but also a bit of power, so a little bit of taper with a bit more float through the nose. I was lucky enough to check the Black Snowboard of Death out in a whole variety of conditions at probably the tail end of the Australian season. Like I said, the board's been around for 25 years. I've been frothing to check it out. As I'm starting to get a bit older, still like some jibs and jumps through the park, nothing too crazy. I'm starting to enjoy boards a little bit more width, kind of some direction, but not too much. But it's something I wanted to check out. Growing up, snowboarding, Kevin Jones and Jeremy Jones, not Big Mountain Jeremy Jones, were kind of like the two people I looked up to. And I always had access to a Jeremy Jones Pro model through Burton, but I never got to check out a Kevin Jones model. So I always want to check out the Black Snowboard of Death, and I'm frothing I finally did. Yeah, but like I said, I rode this across the whole resort, at the tail of the season. Got a little bit of kind of like funny, weird pow, and got some little jumps, couple of jibs, a few slashes, and the thing felt amazing. I tend to like a little bit of a softer board. So I'm heavier, I'm 5'10 and a half and about 95 kilos. And I tend to like a softer board. I wasn't sure how the Black Snowboard of Death would go, if it'd be a bit too stiff or a bit too aggressive for me. Even though I've got the weight and, you know, probably the skill to turn it, I still don't like some really, really stiff boards. And, you know, we're going to check out the Mega Mercury, and I'll talk about that because that was a very stiff board. But this felt really, really good underfoot. First run felt really natural. A little bit different to what I've been riding, but there wasn't too much of an adjustment. I got on, it felt really easy to ride. You know, I think that that reverse camber through the front just makes it really easy. Actually, you can even see it. It's quite a bit there. Makes it easy to lay it into turns, to whip it around, and it felt really, really nice. But what also felt good is sometimes directional boards can feel very directional. This didn't mind riding switch. It didn't feel like an overly directional board. We checked out some other boards this year, like you might see a review coming up, like the Bank Country and a few other things that are quite directional, and they felt very directional. This kind of had the benefits of a directional board riding forwards, but had no problems riding backwards. I felt like you could ride switch all day, even though I'm not that great at it. And it felt very, very natural. So yeah, getting on the Black Snowboard of Death, riding around the mountain, groomers, bit of park, side hits, some carving. The thing felt really, really natural, and I was super stoked to finally check one out. Who is the Black Snowboard of Death for? I think the Black Snowboard of Death is for anyone probably from an intermediate to an advanced rider. When you look at Capita's website, they have like a thing that shows where on the mountain the board goes, and it's really pulling it away from jibs and jumps. I think it jumps really well, but probably not really a jibbing board. But yeah, if you're an aggressive rider that wants a stable board, that rides pow, can carve, can go fast, can stomp landings, is super, super solid, and is going to see you like through season after season, the Black Snowboard of Death is it. You know what I mean? Boards come out each year, new models and that, but I think you can jump on one of these and hold it in the quiver for a few years, and it's always going to hold that special place. Something I've been looking forward to riding for a long time, and I'm sure there's lots of fans out there, the Black Snowboard of Death, that have either had it before, have it year after year, or, like myself, have been absolutely frothing to check it out. Overall, I was absolutely frothing to check out the Black Snowboard of Death. It's been a long time coming. I really want to check this thing out, and it did not disappoint. I'm spewing I didn't get more days on it. I'm spewing I didn't get better, different conditions on it. But yeah, it did not disappoint. I just want to thank the guys at Capita Australia for the opportunity to check it out, and hopefully you get a chance to check one out too. Thanks so much for watching.